Hey guys, we're going to work on Unit 1 review. So we'll start with question 1 up here at the top and I'll write out the answer. So the question was, what is the result of negative 4x plus 7 plus 16x minus 5? This is going to be an addition of two polynomials. So what we want to do is we want to add those two numbers together. So we're going to take what we have over here on the right-hand side, and I'm just going to write in parentheses, and I'm going to do it just exactly what you see there. So that's 16x minus 5. And then we're just going to add from top to bottom. So we're going to add the negative 4x to the 16x. So negative 4 plus 16x, that's going to be 12x. And then we're going to simply add the positive 7 to the negative 5. And 7 plus negative 5 is going to be positive 2. Once we add those together, that's going to give us our final answer for number 1. Number 2, simplify the expression. No calculator. That's no problem. We're going to take the 32. The 32 is going to break down into 8 and 4. 4 will break down into 2 and 2. Remember, once you have those answers, you circle them. 8 is going to break down into 4 and 2. Circle the 2. 4 will break down into 2 and 2. Circle the 2's. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we have a pair of 2's. Another pair of 2's, and then 1 left over. So we know that a pair of 2's means that there's going to be 2 on the outside, another 2 on the outside, and then a 2 left over that goes on the inside. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then the square root of 2 just stays on the side. So that's 4 on the square root of 2. Now let's break down that square root of 18. I'm going to move over here on this side, that way we can break it down. So the square root of 18, we know it will break down into 9 and 2. Circle the 2, it won't break down, 9 will though. 9 will break down into 3 and 3, so we have 2 3's. So that's going to be 3, 3, and 2. A pair of 3's means that there's going to be a 3 on the outside, and a 2 left over means there's going to be a 2 on the outside, or inside. Now, notice how this was a negative, right? It's understood to be negative 1, so we need to take that negative 1 and multiply it times this 3. So negative 1 times 3 is going to be, yes, negative 3. So 4 minus 3, we just remember, we combine the coefficients. So 4 minus 3 is going to be 1. And then remember the radicals stay the same, so the square root of 2. And that's going to be our answer for number 2, so a simple breakdown problem. Number 3, which sum is rational? The key word here is rational. And the thing to remember about this is that rational, and remember, sum means plus. So rational plus rational is equal to rational. So we need to find two things being added here that are rational. So right off the bat, we got pa. Pa is not rational. So no. All right. Next, B, we got square root of 25. That's 5. 5 is rational. 1.75, it's a terminating decimal. It's rational. I bet that's going to be our answer. Let's check the others. Square root of 3. Can I take the square root of 3? No. That's irrational, so that won't work. And then we got pi. Pi, no, irrational. So that's not going to work either. So the only one that has two rationals being added together is B, sorry. Number 4, which sum is irrational? So here we're doing the sum again and irrational. Remember, you can have for irrational, you can have a rational plus an irrational. You can have an irrational plus a rational. Or you could have an irrational plus an irrational. All of those are equal to irrational. Okay? So when I look at this one, I'm looking for an irrational. So here I've got square root of 36 is 6. That's rational. 33 over 4, that's a fraction. That's rational. So A doesn't work. 2.5, that's a terminating decimal. That's rational. Square root of 49, that's 7. That's rational. That doesn't work. Square root of 3, ooh, that's irrational. So this might be an answer. 24 squared, all right, that's going to give us a pretty big number, but it's going to be a rational number. So, hey, that might be our answer since we got one irrational. It looks like it's going to be an irrational plus a rational. Let's check the last one. Square root of 25, that's going to be 5. That's rational. Square root of 1, that's rational because it's 1. So D doesn't work either. So the correct answer for that one would be C. Question number 5. We're looking for the perimeter. All right, we're looking for the perimeter. I need my marker. Let's do the marker. Yes. So the perimeter for the rectangle. So to find the perimeter for the rectangle, we add together the sides, all 4 sides, to get the answer. So for this one, the rectangle, we're going to have the square root of 3 minus 1. Remember, we're adding all these together, so plus 1 plus the square root of 3 plus 1 plus the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3 plus 1. I'm going to go over just a little bit here. So all I need to do is add these together. So I have 1 square root of 3, 1 square root of 3, 1 square root of 3, and 1 square root of 3. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's going to be 4 on the square root of 3. And then we have negative 1 plus 1, which is 0. All right, and then 0 plus, yep, that's right. 0 plus 1 is 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. So the answer there would be for the rectangle, 4 on the square root of 3 plus 2. Next, we will find the perimeter of the triangle. So the triangle is going to be this inside. So you can see the triangle. There it is. And we have the side of 2, 2, and 2 on the square root of 2. So for the triangle, we're going to add together 2 plus 2 plus 2 on the square root of 2. We can only combine numbers with numbers. We can't combine numbers with radicals. So keep that in mind. The radical has to be the same to combine it. That's key. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we have nothing to add to the 2 on the square root of 2, so that just stays 2 on the square root of 2. It's that simple. Just remember here on this problem, always combine like radicals. If you have no coefficient in front of it, then the coefficient is equal to 1. Let's look at number 6. What is the product? Remember, product just means multiply. So we're going to multiply 5x minus 6 and 4x plus 3. So remember, box strategy would work here. You could also use distributive property, but I love box strategy. Let's do it. So here we've got 5x minus 6, 4x plus 3. Multiply 4x times 5x, and we get 20x squared. Multiply 4x times negative 6, and we get negative 24x. Multiply 5x times 3, and we get positive 15x. And then multiply positive 3 times negative 6, and we get negative 18. Remember, if you do it this way, these two numbers will combine. So we've got 20x squared. Then we've got a 15 plus a negative 24. So when we add those together, we get negative 9x. And then this negative 18, nothing to add to it, so it just stays negative 18. Remember, you can also do distributive property here. If you wanted to write it as 5x minus 6 times 4x plus 3, you could work it this way as well and multiply the 5x times both numbers and the negative 6 times both numbers. That only works with the product, though. That is multiplication, so make sure you use that appropriately. All right, number 7, give examples to the appropriate units for speed of a car. We know a car travels in miles per hour. The key here is that any vehicle, any object can travel at a speed as long as that speed is distance over time. I can't spell. Distance over time. So keep in mind, distance over time could be inches over minutes. It could be metric, right? Kilometers over seconds. All right? Feet over years. We are always looking for a distance over a time. That will be key in how you find the answer to that. It can't be the other way around. It can't be 2 times. You need to know that it is distance over time. Okay? Number 8. Number 8 we did in class. That's A minus B. So we're looking for A minus B. And it tells us that we know A is this. And B is this over here. So we're going to write those in. So for A, we'll put it in parentheses. That's going to be 4x squared plus 7x minus 2. Then we have minus, so that's minus B, which is going to be negative 6x squared minus 3x plus 5. Remember to distribute your negative, right? We want to distribute the negative. Or you can remember that it is keep, change, change. That's how I like to remember. In other words, we keep all of this the same. We change this sign to positive, so we're going to put plus. And then we're going to change the sign of each of these numbers. So negative 6 becomes positive 6, x squared. Negative 3 becomes positive 3x. And then positive 5 becomes negative 5. Add them together. 4 plus 6 is 10x squared. Then we've got 7 plus 3 is going to be 10x. And then negative 2 minus 5, or negative 2 plus negative 5, is going to be negative 7. And that gives us our final answer for that problem. Moving on to number 9. We're on a good pace right now. It says, if you can run a 40-yard dash in 5 seconds, your speed in miles per hour would be, and it gives us some conversions here. Nice, nice, nice to have. Make sure you memorize those. Those would be nice to use. So here I'm going to bump over to the side. We've got 40 yards. And we're traveling 40 yards per every 5 seconds. A little different here. So remember, they have to cancel out. So if we got yards on top, we want yards on bottom. Yards goes to feet. So we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Yards cancel out. That's important. Always cancel your units. Next, we go from feet to, well, it says to go to miles. So we're going to change it to miles since we can. So we know 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Feet go away. Now we've got miles on top. We want to get hours on bottom. Currently we have seconds on bottom. So if seconds is on bottom, put seconds on top. Then we're going to put, well, seconds goes to minutes. So we know 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Seconds go away. Next we change the minutes. So we put minutes on top, and minutes will go to, you got it right, hours. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Minutes goes away. And then we can find our result. So I'm going to pause it quick and do the calculations and get back to you. All right, so to finish this problem out, you can see I did some math over here. I multiplied each of these numbers on top times each other. Once I multiplied those numbers times each other, I got this top answer of 432,000. On bottom, I multiplied 5 times 1 times 5,280 times 1 times 1, and I came up with this answer of 26,400. So those two numbers divided in the calculator will give you a final answer of 16.36 repeating, and that's miles per hour. So that converts it to our final answer. Number 10 is very similar to one of the other problems we've already did. This is a keep it, change it, change it. So we're going to keep the 8x squared plus 2x minus 6. We're going to change the subtraction into addition. And then we are going to change the positive 5 into a negative 5x squared. We're going to change the negative 3x into a positive 3x, and the positive 2 into a negative 2, and then add. So here we've got 8 plus negative 5, which is going to be 3x squared. We have 2 plus 3, which is going to be 5x. And then negative 6 plus negative 2, which is going to be negative 8. So with that one, we would know that would be the correct answer of B. B as in boy. Number 11. Number 11 says find, essentially it says the area of a rectangle is the product. All right, gives us some information. It just says find the perimeter and the area. Remember, perimeter is equal to all sides added. We're going to add up all the sides. For area, we know area is equal to length times width. So let's see if we can get this one done before our time runs out. We only got a minute or so. So to figure out the perimeter, we would add up all the sides. So we got 2x minus 7, 2x minus 7. We've got 6x plus 3, and 6x plus 3. All right, guys, I'm going to run out of time on this video. I'm not going to be able to finish this one. So hold on tight. There's coming a part 2. When that part 2 gets here, you know what? We'll start back where we just left off. So freeze for a second. Go ahead and click on the second video that I posted. It'll say part 2, unit 1 review. And then you will be able to watch the remainder of the problems be worked out.